Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Patch 11.15 only recently went live, and it's one of those updates that's great for catch-ups, but it's also going to be a great update for gearing out your character and making them the strongest they've ever been this entire season. Recently, Blizzard announced a massive slew of changes arriving in just a handful of weeks to what they described as to turbo boost your opportunity to gear out a character with so many different improvements from account-wide, Warbound, Valorstones to uncapped crests to so many opportunities for you to be able to outgear your character to reach item level of 680 plus on some of the best gear available. Dinar is also making a return in official capacity, though a little bit with a twist this time around, and all of these updates are arriving very soon in just a handful of days during some time through middle of May. So if you're somebody who has been looking to potentially return back to WoW for 11.15, this actually would be the best time to do so, especially if you're looking to join Season 2 content, get all of the gear and all of the rewards for the season before it is over, and grow your character to be the strongest they've ever been. So for today's video, I wanted to go over this massive gear buff that's arriving really soon to the patch 11.15 in just a handful of weeks, and everything that you can look forward to, and all of the different changes that are coming out from Mythic Plusers, Delvers, and Raiders. As always, if you guys want to see more regular updates for the War Within expansion, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in. So first of all, let's go over all of the different bonuses that are coming out very soon. I believe May 13th/14th, which is going to be the big catch up, but also the big unlocking to everyone's gear potential, starting with unlocking the caps on your crests. Right now on your main, there's a good chance that you are capped on gildeds literally, like if you're playing pretty aggressively, day one as soon as a reset happens, and you're still behind in just a handful of pieces. You're almost at that apex of item level. But as soon as they uncap this, you'll be able to farm up Gilded Crests, Ruined Crests, Carved Crests, Weather Crests, all the crests. I guess specifically mostly we'll be focusing on Gildeds just to finalize your character and finish it out, making your character the strongest they can be. Upgrading all of those items to the highest tracks available for Hero Track or Mythic Track in particular, but also it's an opportunity to start converting a lot of these Gilded Crests into the enchanted item, or enchanted reagent that is necessary for crafted pieces. You will still, however, be limited by sparks that you can get every single week, or spark fragments that could eventually make a full-blown spark for your character. However, if let's say the Great Vault just doesn't give you a lot of good items, you can start converting those Great Vault rewards into Algari tokens of merit to start purchasing the Fractured Spark of Fortune, which my rogue is actually starting to do already. I've gotten unlucky for like 2 weeks with my vault, which is super unfortunate, but at the very least, those sparks can help you catch up, as if let's say none of the items in the vault are an upgrade, you can instead then craft an item that will be an upgrade. So you should start to be able to get sparks more regularly, since you get 1 fragment every week. You can start getting second one from the Great Vault if you take none of the rewards from there, and you can start converting those gildeds into crafted items to fill out your character with a bunch of high quality crafted gear with guaranteed stats that you're looking forward to. And on top of all that, they're finally making Valor Warbound currency. So you, ideally, I think you'll be able to transfer it across multiple characters, which is going to be massive. Hopefully there won't be any taxes on transferring their currency specifically. Sometimes certain currencies like Honor, for example, are taxed, so you actually lose some of it in the process. But hopefully they won't have anything like this here. And this is massive, because this is something the community has been asking for a very long time, and they are finally doing it, which is a massively big change. This new turbo boost for gear will also follow with some delve improvements, specifically when it comes to some of the rewards from the delves. If you're still not finished out with the delve season, things like Bran himself, Bran will start to gain additional experience from completing delves. So if you're for some reason still behind on Bran in terms of Bran levels, you don't have him at level 80 at the moment, maybe you just don't spam tier 11 delves constantly, this will be an opportunity to get him up, because he'll get a bonus to experience from a variety of different delves, from bountiful delves as well as the regular delves. You also will get a nice boost towards the Delver's journey, so complete it very quickly. This is maybe kind of helpful for players that haven't played in Season 2, but fantastic for returning players in particular. So if you just looking to get all the rewards for the Season 2, you'll be able to do so very easily. From the delves themselves, which is a huge portion of some players' endgame progression, you also will earn more crests, more Valorstones, and an increase to the repeatable earnable crests across all of Delve tiers, which means that you'll be able to get more currencies to upgrade all of your items to catch up to everybody else super quickly, especially since some of those hero track items can then be further upgradable to even higher levels, which I guess that's what we're going to move into, is the fact that they are actually increasing the value of hero track and mythic track gear from endgame content. Right now, when you go to upgrade let's say a hero track item, it always caps out at like 6 ranks of upgrade. So there's only so much that you can do when upgrading a piece of gear. The same thing goes for all the mythic pieces as well. There's also a limit to just how strong can you make some of these items in general. But they're actually increasing the amount of upgrade ranks from 6 to 8, so you'll actually have 2 additional ranks that you can get all these pieces up to. This means the hero track gear that normally is capped out at 665 item level is actually going to be, after fully upgraded, going to go all the way into the 670s range instead. So you're looking at hero track gear that can be transformed into like mid-tier mythic items, which is a massive boost for hero track pieces. Same thing goes for the mythic track items as well. Any mythic track items, let's say from the newest raid of Liberation of Undermine, let's say you have, I don't know, boots here that are 2 out of 6, there's 665, fully upgraded there will be 678. Those are also going to have 2 extra ranks to them, putting all mythic pieces, especially things like, let's say, the Galawix's Jaster's Diamond, which is already 678 max full track. This will also have 2 additional ranks to it. So you'll be able to get some of those gear from raids and dungeons that can't go to mythic track. They're going to be up to 680 item level. Overall, it's a massive power gain for every single one of your characters, your ults, but also your main as well. It's a catch up for any of the mythic bosses and allows players to have an easier time to get into the next tier of content. It also makes it a little bit easier for players to progress and get into some of the more challenging content to get some of those unique rewards. Like if, let's say, you normally don't do Mythic Plus dungeons, but you at least get KSM every single season, that's an opportunity with better gear and a stronger character to achieve things like Keystone Hero, or even better yet, Keystone Legend, to get the brand new mount variation that is available for this season. This power gain is going to be massive for so many players out there, whether you're looking to upgrade all of your ults and play ults in the season, or if you're just looking to really supercharge your main with the best of the best gear available. Now, this item level jump is going to be nice for anybody that's got best slot of hero track gear or mythic track gear, but what if you have just a bunch of crafted pieces? Are you going to be falling behind because these are still stuck at 675 item level? Well, they're actually adding a new reagent over on the, I don't really know which one of these vendors is going to have it, but there's going to be a brand new reagent that allows you to increase the item level of your crafted pieces by 6 additional item levels to make sure that these crafted pieces do not fall behind all of these hero track and mythic track items. So everybody that's already crafted an item and you have a really best in slot weapon or best in slot belt, boots, embellishments, things like that, you will be able to take those items to that +1 higher level in order to make them even better than ever before. So everybody is going to be getting a power spike, whether you get your gear from dungeons or raids or delves, or whether you just craft your items in order to get some of the best gear available. Also, Blizzard did say that they're finally going to be addressing the puzzling cartel chip, otherwise known as, I might call it dinars here and there because that's what we used to call it. It's basically going to be a token that you'll use to trade it out and purchase raid gear from Liberation of Undermine. In a previous expansion, similar currency like this was used to be able to purchase any item from the raid and then upgrade it all the way to the highest of levels. However, this time around with dinars, or puzzling cartel chips, there is a lot more limitations than many players have expected, and it's kind of a controversial change, as essentially the chips are not used as a way for you to just buy some of the best gear, but it's more of a bad luck protection for raiders specifically. So these cartel chips are going to be made available immediately on May 13th, and you'll get a quest line where you get to unlock 3 of them, and then over the next few weeks you'll earn up to 9 of these chips. However, every piece of gear from the raid will cost you 3. So immediately you'll be able to buy an item from the raid, and then you'll earn 2 more over time. So there is limitation to how many items you can overall purchase from the raid tier. But there's also going to be a second requirement before you can buy any of these items, especially if you want them on like hero track or mythic track, where previously the cartel chips were used to purchase an item and it had like its own unique track upgrade system where you could just keep feeding it Valorstones and upgraded version of crests from weathered to carved to ruined to gilded and just continue pumping it until you get the highest highest item levels available, essentially allowing a player who never stepped foot into a mythic raid to have a chance to get one of the best pieces from Galawix and upgrade it all the way to that mythic level, so you feel like you have finalized your character for the season. Now you have the requirement where you first have to slay these bosses on either heroic to get the hero track variation of these items, or mythic to get the mythic variation of these items. So you have to first slay a one-armed bandit mythic before you can get the good version of House of Cards. You have to slay mythic Mugsy before you can get the juiced up Moxie's Jug trinket. And you have to slay mythic Galawix before you can get your hands on the Aya Kazan trinket. As a Mythic Raider, this is a fantastic item because now you can get some bad luck protection. You've been slaying these bosses on really high difficulty and now you can finally get some of the best items out there. And that's awesome for them. But players that are doing Mythic Plus and primarily focus on Mythic Plus this season that didn't spend the time applying to guilds to get into a Mythic guild, which is not easy to do. Not everybody can just walk up to a guild, apply, and then start raiding Mythic and in a week be on Mythic Galawix. This just does not work. There's a lot of, it's a whole process that I've been Mythic raiding for a very, very long time and I love it, but it's definitely not for everybody and not everyone is going to be able to just get into it all that easily. Getting started is the hardest part too. So if you're someone who's spent the entire season pushing Mythic Plus and getting so much done within the season, pushing for the highest ranks, but not even now, all that, you can't even use the Dinar token to get some of the best gear out there. Like, what if at least they did this for Mythic Plusers, so at least they could get some of the best dungeon gear in the highest track quality? At least then it's like, okay, well, you can get the best of the best gear of your content that you're into. Delvers also kind of feel left out because if you've been mostly playing Delves, you don't like group content, you don't really do them in your raids. Maybe you haven't even touched heroic done raids at all, haven't got your ATC for the season yet. What do? You kind of like left out on your own at that point. So it ends up creating a bit of a weird situation where some players are going to be left out for a system that in the past has been available for everyone, and all of a sudden they decided to make it exclusive for this season specifically, which is my biggest issue with it. Changing the rules and adding those extra stipulations, it could also create a situation where players, and I feel like they are incentivized to buy a carry to slay Mythic Galawix or Mugsy or One-Armed Bandit, so they could use those coins and some of the best items from those bosses. And that's also a really weird gray area that I don't necessarily like WoW to go into specifically. I don't think that's really healthy to start creating those kind of environments, but that could be a potential opportunity going forward in the future. And at the end of the day, it is just a news that not a lot of people are excited about. I understand Blizz wants to make him a catch-up for raiders, but why not make him available for everybody else, or at least allow players that are Delvers and Mythic Plusers to get some of the best gear from their preferred content as well, like add more vendors for even more content. But with that, I do want to pass it out to you guys in the comments. Let me know how you think they should handle the chips. Do you think they are fine as they're being implemented, as a bad luck protection mostly for raiders, or do you think they should be made open for everybody? So Delve players and Mythic Plusers and really anybody that's playing in Season 3. And do you think maybe they should have a specific vendor for Mythic Plusers and Delvers so they can get some of the best gear from their content that they get to experience for the season? Let me know how do you think they should handle this entire debacle in the comments down below. As always, I want to thank all of you so much for watching and hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it or found it informative, go ahead and give it a like. I would very much appreciate it. Also, join our Discord community, probably the best place to keep up with all the regular updates regarding class changes, and we'll likely be seeing a lot more of them now that 11.15 has finally gone live. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in our next one.